There's a moment in life that quietly brands itself into your soul. You meet someone, and for reasons you can't explain, they stay with you, even if they're not around anymore. Their presence lingers like a whisper in your mind. You try to move on, distract yourself, focus on other things, but no matter how much time passes, their memory keeps resurfacing. It's not just about missing them, it's something deeper, something that feels beyond your control. Maybe you've had that person, someone whose smile you still remember vividly, someone whose energy felt strangely familiar, like you'd known them long before you actually met. And even after the chapter with them has closed, it feels like their story never really left the pages of your heart. This feeling can be confusing. You ask yourself why you can't just forget. Others tell you to let go or move on. But what they don't understand is that forgetting isn't a choice. It's as if something within you refuses to erase them. And the more you try to suppress it, the stronger the pull becomes. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." This is not just poetic, it's psychological truth. There are some encounters in life that are meant to awaken something inside us. These people don't just pass through our timeline, they touch parts of our psyche that were dormant. And once awakened, those parts don't simply go back to sleep. This is why forgetting that one person feels impossible. Because in some way, they've become a mirror, reflecting back parts of yourself you didn't know existed. You weren't just drawn to them. You were drawn to what your soul recognized within them. And that recognition is powerful. It's the kind that leaves an imprint. One you can't erase no matter how much you wish to. When Carl Jung explored the depths of the human psyche, he believed that the people who affect us the most are not random. They are mirrors, symbolic reflections of something hidden within our unconscious mind. This is why some connections feel so intense, almost magnetic. It's not just about romance or memories. It's about the profound psychological exchange happening beneath the surface. When you meet someone who resonates with the core of your being, their presence activates something buried deep inside you. It could be an unhealed wound, a forgotten dream, or a part of your personality that you've suppressed for years. Jung called this the shadow, the unseen side of your character that holds both your darkness and your hidden light. Sometimes, that one unforgettable person brings your shadow into the light. They make you feel emotions you didn't know you were capable of feeling. Joy, pain, vulnerability, longing, all at once. And because this encounter stirs such powerful internal shifts, your psyche cannot simply label it as just another experience and move on. It treats it as something significant. This is why your mind keeps looping back to them. It's not an obsession born out of weakness. It's your subconscious trying to make sense of the transformation their presence triggered. In a way, they acted as a catalyst, and catalysts are not easily forgotten. Think about it. There may have been people in your life who came and went without leaving much of a trace. You shared moments, conversations, maybe even years, but they didn't awaken anything fundamental inside you. And then one person arrived, and everything shifted. The way they looked at you, the way conversations flowed effortlessly, the way their energy made your soul feel both safe and challenged at the same time. You couldn't fully explain it, but you felt it deeply. That kind of connection doesn't fade because it's not just about the person. It's about what they made you discover within yourself. Jung believed that these encounters often have a spiritual undertone. On the surface, it may look like two people crossing paths, but on a deeper level, it's like two inner worlds colliding. Your unconscious recognizes something in them that your conscious mind cannot fully articulate. That recognition is what lingers when they're gone. And this is why, even months or years later, their memory can still make your heart tighten unexpectedly. It's not always about wanting them back. It's about acknowledging the psychological and emotional transformation that their presence initiated. For many, this realization is bittersweet. It brings clarity but also pain. Because understanding why you can't forget someone doesn't instantly make the feeling disappear. But it does give meaning to what often feels like emotional chaos. There's something fascinating about how certain memories refuse to fade, almost like they've been carved into the walls of your mind. Carl Jung explained that when you encounter a person who aligns with the deeper layers of your psyche, that moment imprints itself not just in your thoughts, but in your emotional core. It's like the universe pauses and your inner world whispers, "Pay attention. This matters." You might find yourself replaying small details, a laugh that made everything else disappear, a look that felt like they could see straight into your soul, or a moment when time seemed to slow down. These aren't just sentimental fragments. Psychologically, your brain tags experiences with intense emotional charge as significant, almost as if it's marking them with a glowing highlighter so they can never be lost. Jung's perspective reveals something deeper. You don't just remember them. You remember how you felt when you were with them. It's the version of yourself they awakened, the raw, vulnerable, unguarded you. And when that version surfaces, it's unforgettable, because it shows you a glimpse of who you are beneath layers of routine, ego, and fear. This is why forgetting doesn't come easily. Because in truth, it's not about erasing a face or a voice. It's about trying to quiet the echo of a feeling that once made your soul feel alive. It's about the way your inner world expanded in their presence. You experienced something that touched your essence. And experiences like that don't fade with time. They evolve, they transform, but they rarely vanish. Many people misunderstand this and think it's weakness to not move on quickly. But from Jung's lens, it's not weakness, it's depth. Shallow experiences can be forgotten overnight, but soul-level experiences become part of your personal mythology. They shape how you see love, connection, and even yourself. And sometimes your subconscious clings to that memory not to torture you, but to teach you. It holds on until you've absorbed the lesson or integrated the part of yourself that person helped you uncover. Until then, the memory lingers like a soft, persistent knock, urging you to look inward rather than outward. You may have tried distractions, new relationships, or busy routines, but the echo persists because it's not an external problem. It's an inner calling. Jung often emphasized that unresolved psychological truths don't disappear when ignored. They resurface again and again until they're understood. And this unforgettable person might be the mirror through which life is asking you to understand something deeper about yourself. Time often convinces us that emotional intensity should fade, but when someone has touched the deepest layers of your being, the passage of days doesn't simply erase the mark they left behind. Jung believed that certain individuals enter your life not by accident, but to awaken something buried within you, a truth, a desire, or a hidden wound. This is why, even long after their physical presence is gone, their psychological presence remains strong. You may catch yourself thinking about them when you least expect it. A familiar scent brings a rush of emotions. A song makes your chest tighten. A quiet night turns into a battlefield of memories. It's not that you're weak. It's that your subconscious mind works on a level far beyond conscious control. It stores emotional impressions like sacred scripts, waiting for you to revisit and make sense of them. Jung explained that the people we can't forget often mirror parts of ourselves we've neglected or suppressed. Perhaps they embodied qualities you admired but never expressed. Maybe they understood a part of you that no one else had ever seen. They may have awakened a longing that had been sleeping for years. In their presence, you experienced a rare sense of being fully recognized, and that recognition carved a permanent path in your psyche. Forgetting becomes difficult, because in essence, it's not just them you're holding on to, it's you. It's the version of yourself that came alive in their presence. It's the emotional landscape they revealed. This is why, no matter how many new faces you meet, that one person lingers in the background like a quiet shadow, reminding you of something unfinished. Sometimes, this lingering is your mind's way of pushing you toward growth. Jung believed that when something or someone repeatedly resurfaces in your inner world, it's because the lesson is not yet fully learned. Instead of fighting the memory, he suggested turning inward, exploring why that connection shook you so deeply. What did it reveal about your desires, fears, or unmet needs? What part of your soul did they touch that you've since ignored? This is a crucial shift. Instead of trying to force forgetting, you begin to understand. And when understanding replaces resistance, healing starts to unfold naturally. The power of that unforgettable person is not just in their existence, it's in the mirror they held up to you. By looking into that mirror with honesty, you reclaim the emotional power that has been tied to their memory. The truth is, some connections are not meant to be gotten over quickly. They're meant to transform you. They arrive like storms, shaking everything, forcing you to rebuild stronger foundations. Their presence becomes part of your internal architecture. When you see this through Jung's eyes, you stop asking, "Why can't I forget them?" and start realizing, "What are they here to teach me about myself?" There comes a moment when you stop chasing the memory and start listening to it. The weight of that unforgettable person doesn't crush you anymore. It starts to guide you. Carl Jung believed that the figures who leave lasting imprints on our hearts often act as messengers from the unconscious. They pull us toward self-discovery, even if it hurts. And when you finally understand that their role was to awaken, not to remain, everything begins to shift inside you. You may never completely erase their presence, and that's okay. Not all deep connections are meant to be forgotten. Some are meant to shape you. Their memory becomes like a compass, pointing you toward hidden parts of your identity. The ache you once felt so sharply softens into quiet strength, a reminder of the emotional depth you're capable of feeling. You start to see that your life didn't end when they left. In many ways, it began a new chapter of inner growth. Through Jung's lens, the inability to forget is not a weakness. It's evidence that something profoundly real happened. Instead of burying that truth, you can honor it. You can take the lesson they brought and weave it into your story. Maybe they taught you how to love without masks. Maybe they revealed your fears or vulnerabilities. Maybe they showed you the kind of connection your soul longs for. Whatever it was, it mattered. And what matters changes you. Healing begins when you stop resisting the past and begin embracing its meaning. The memories that once haunted you become chapters in your personal myth, no longer holding you hostage, but enriching the depth of your journey. You start living more consciously, making choices from clarity instead of pain. And slowly, the emotional grip loosens, not because you forced it to, but because you grew beyond it. The person you couldn't forget becomes less of a wound and more of a whisper, an echo that reminds you how far you've come. You realize that love, even when it doesn't stay, leaves gifts behind. It teaches you to see yourself more clearly, to feel more deeply, and to live more fully. Jung's insight was simple yet profound. When the psyche holds on to something, it's not clinging to the past. It's calling for integration. Once you've answered that call, forgetting becomes irrelevant, because you've become someone stronger, wiser, and more complete. So, the next time their memory surfaces, don't rush to push it away. Listen, understand, let it shape you into someone who carries love without chains. And as you do, you'll find that the power they once had over you now belongs entirely to you. If this message touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful insights.